points. I really don't know if there's any point to doing this video. But hey, I guess we only have to do it once a year. So first off, the obvious thing, DLC. Everyone is expecting this. There's so many Scarlet and Violet copies already sold. If they went ahead and announced a whole new game, that would be very surprising. Considering, assumedly, how little development they've had to the next game. And a third game, I just can't really see it. Like, I know for myself, I don't think I could pull in the effort to do the whole region all again. It's just not that sort of game. Yeah, do the gyms again. I don't think they're gonna do a third game. DLC is how they did Sword and Shield. I think that's the way they'll go again. And they've obviously got a lot to work with. I guess small spoiler alert. Well, not small. Big spoiler alert if you haven't finished the game, but I assume people watching this have. But yeah, they've got a lot still up in the air. They left a lot of details for a DLC opportunity with the Imagined Pokemon, the third legendary, the disc Pokemon. Just a lot of things in Area Zero, like I wonder what this was used for, or what this could be. And obviously the Scarlet and Violet book still has a lot left. Is it a dream machine? Is it a time machine? What are the paradox Pokemon? Are they really from the future? Are they invented by this disc Pokemon, or imagined, or like just the whole backstory to that? And they've got gateways to do that, with Clavel on the exploring team. He's obviously aware of what happened in Area Zero. Jack too, and they can just reset the whole school thing. Start the treasure hunt again, maybe do some more classes if they want to. Like, they just got a pretty easy way to reset the story and send everyone out again. They can introduce some new characters through starting the school year again. And then there's the other potential for a second DLC like they did in Sword and Shield, which the most obvious place to draw would be Kalos, which would be major hype, I think. A lot of people think they'll just do Southern Kalos, which to do all of Kalos would be like so much area to program into 3D world. And considering a lot of people aren't fans of the graphics, it just seems like a lot of effort. But assumedly they would spread out the two DLCs, one later this year, or I guess they could even extend it to next year. But I mean, the DLCs aren't going to be filler, but they can kind of play that same role, even though I think there's going to be a lot of content there, and a lot of questions answered. But yeah, there's a few reasons we'd cross paths with Kalos. There's obviously the Pokemon War, if that connects with anything. There's Anastar City with the Crystal. I was watching the Crystal Onyx episode the other day. It's funny how they've just like been able to create stuff, and in retrospect it seems relevant like now. And I don't know, I don't think in the Crystal Onyx case, but maybe Anastar City, they seriously were thinking about the Trastalization thing. But obviously locationally they're just close. We never got a third game for Kalos. There's a few unanswered questions in Kalos, and it just didn't really, well, first of all, it didn't have a third game, and it didn't have an expansive post game, and this could be a pretty easy way to not do the whole fully fledged remake, which, you know, has got some criticism with BDSP, with them not even really having any ideas with what to do with that, giving it to the Ulka company, and essentially it was just a carbon copy remake. Like you've probably played it, I haven't, but that's what I've heard. So yeah, that could be a really good way to revisit Kalos. But yeah, that's the DLC side of it. This video is not going to be rapid fire, I guess. I'm spending way too long on this. But next, I'm expecting the Pokemon Home update, maybe available as soon as March. I think that's very expected. I don't know how long it takes them for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm somewhat surprised it wasn't available already. But yeah, I think we should get some news on that at the very least. The next one is, I think, well, with them releasing the Game Boy games, and I don't know if there's Game Boy Color games too. I know there's color on the Game Boy games on the Nintendo Switch Online service. I don't know if they've done Game Boy Advance as well. I'm not too sure about the specifics. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard to implement. But with the eShop closing, they could restock the Gen 1 games, and Gen 2. But what I'm a little bit more hopeful of is they do the Gen 3 games, as there's no real official license means to play those if you don't have a Game Boy, which, I mean, how many people have a Game Boy these days? And if you did want to get a Game Boy, you have to pay hundreds of dollars on eBay, for obviously an old system. So I think that would be really good if they did provide those games. I guess they would come with the expansion pass package. I don't know how save data and stuff works with that, and like Pokemon Home. But I think it's a really good opportunity. I guess we'll see if that happens or not. They didn't announce in the direct, obviously. We'll see if that's waiting for Pokemon Day. But next up is a spin-off game. It's been a while since we got a spin-off game, if you don't count Legends Arceus. I guess Snap, Pokemon Snap wasn't too long ago. That was a remake though, wasn't it? I didn't play it. But Mystery Dungeon was a while ago too. I don't know how long ago that was. I haven't finished a Mystery Dungeon game, so clearly I'm just not haven't played that many Pokemon spin-offs. I mean, there's been a lot. There's like obviously the small phone mini games like Shuffle, and trying to think of that one that company made. That company made. I can't even think of it right now. And then there's the more expansive games like Pokémon Tournament, Battle Revolution. I guess there is a possibility we get a new battle game, but I suspect they'll just wait till the new system if we even do get one. But there is an opportunity for them to try out something different in terms of the spin-off games, like just try out a new idea. Yeah, a new whatever it is, mechanic, gimmick, but hopefully just something different with the spin-off games. I mean, Mystery Dungeon is really well loved, so they could go down that direction, but with the Switch being closer to the end than the start, they could try out something different. But hey, we might not even have a spin-off game. But I would be surprised if they didn't, actually, because if they're doing DLC this year, I guess we don't know what's next. Unova could be next, Legends game could be next, but we're not expecting that to be announced. And something that's probably going to be announced is just Go News, Masters EX, Cafe Remix. I remember that from last year. I don't really have any comments or intel on that. probably a recap of the VGC and TCG and Go tournaments, which I don't quite understand. Well, I don't understand how you qualify into them. I'm not trying to, but I think I've spoke about this on my VGC video that I'm gonna make. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All my predictions. Hopefully there's a new book. You know, the book of 700 Pokemon, like that they update with 1,000 Pokemon. I really want there to be a new book. Hopefully they make one, because then I don't feel like I have to buy another book. Well, anyway, that's the predictions. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else in the racks of my brain. Pixelmon update. Yeah, like I said, they can just try something new. There'll maybe be an ode, or do something similar to the 1,000 Pokemon thing, the compilation they made. They might do something more celebratory. Anyway, like I said, I don't really think there's too much point in this video. It's just predictions at the end of the day, and oh my goodness, this video has gone for 12 minutes. So hopefully they announce some stuff. Hopefully it's not like 1:30 in the morning my time, and hopefully you'll get more than 1 hour and 30 minutes